Don't worry about it, alright? Alrighty then. So, let's go ahead and recap a little bit of the last session. It's been a while. It's been a while for everybody. So, welcome back. You guys had encountered some harsh weather in the winter wonderland of the Northern Ice Sheet. And this, coupled with the fact that you guys were still a decently far way away from your end goal, decision was made to use the teleportation circle and send you guys back to your keep. Once there, you guys were able to recover, and mostly everybody recover everything that was ailing them. And then decisions were made on what to do next, where to go. Eventually, you guys decided on what to do, especially with a little communication. We're told of a possible airship that you could seek passage on, or at least that is a viable route to get back home. Before this, though, another option was put forth of the second teleportation circle. There's enough chalk to be used to make the trip back and forth a little bit, so you guys decided to go ahead and try it out while you guys were still at full snuff, well, at least most of you. So, trying the teleportation circle, you guys got teleported to this small island. Really small, comparatively to any island you've been on so far, and hell, you can walk across the whole thing in less than a minute. So, on this island, looking around, it looked to have been inhabited at some point. Even a small mining operation had been posted out on it. But currently, no inhabitants currently visible. The only inhabitants that you ended up finding were some dead fish and a small freshwater pond on this largely surrounded saltwater island, and inside having some frogs. Kaporan having a bit more of an intimate interaction with said frogs. Beyond that, though, there was nothing. There's a ship, abandoned campsites, and a bunch of different items in semi-different states of deterioration. After looking over this place, gathering what you felt like would be gatherable, you guys decided to go ahead and use the teleportation circle to get you back to your keep. Unfortunately, it does not seem that spells of a certain higher caliber are able to be performed on this island. With Nori kind of divining where you guys were at, you have a good idea that you were in the Mage-Torn Isles, which, given what you knew about the magic and how the tapestry wraps around the world, putting a few things together, you guys decided that this may not be specifically a hole that you're currently in of the tapestry, but a tear that is healing but not fully healed. So, with at least a ship nearby, you guys prepped it and got it ready for an outing on the next day, as night was coming early, and you guys started to set up camp, have some discussions, some much needed discussions for some, and night fell upon you all. And during the watches at night, I believe it was Kaporan?
Yes.
It was during Kaporan's watch that the frogs started to en masse leave the pond and spread out across the island. And when the little frogs were no longer, the larger ones appeared. Two semi-large, and I only say they are semi-large because the third one, being as large of a Banderhob as you could probably get, ended up blooping their way out of the water. And I believe somebody woke up. Oh, Kaporan, I believe you started waking people up when you saw the bigger frogs coming out.
I think we were all awake because you said the sun went down at like 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So we were all biding our time until it was actual nighttime.
So it was only Kaporan that saw it, because you guys all felt it as the bigger frogs.
Bertrand saw it as well, really, because he wasn't with us. He was somewhere else. He was like
with
looking.
Kaparin.
He was overlooking Caparin, as Caparin was like right above the pond.
He was keeping watch on the watchkeeper.
So, after all the little frogs, the two larger frogs came out and separated out of view, and then the third largest frog ended up getting out of the pond and the water going significantly down in the pond. As it did so, as it being the main source of the shaking that's going on, kind of lumbered out of the hole and moved forward at a much slower pace than any of the other ones that were moving. But that's where we return. So, the largest frog creeps out of the pond and moves forward. It kind of just sits there and is scouring around. Now, across the majority of the floor here, little frogs are scattering around, and a bunch of little frogs are riding this larger one. But they're starting to jump off and go in different directions, and you guys are starting to experience those up at the campsite. Many different frogs all sort of jumping and running around, and it's almost a weird experience when you see like 30 frogs jump out of the forest or out of the tree line, and all of a sudden they're all just with their tongues trying to catch food for the night. Almost looks like a small like archery army coming out and just attack moving and catching whatever they can to eat.
So we're all awake and like seeing all this?
Yeah.
And Nori will put a finger up to her lips, just like showing everyone like quiet.
And
mostly looking at Caparin.
Well, Caparin's down. He's not with you.
Yeah.
Caparin's on the next level down. He's right here.
He's the frog's first meal.
Trying to like stealth up back to the campsite, even after you have to fly up there.
Roll. Oh, you want to fly up there, or you want to stealth up there? Either way, you're rolling stealth check.
Yeah.
How far away is he from me?
Maybe about 20 so feet. Actually,
I mean, if you can see
35 feet.
Richard's,
but you can't see him.
Okay, then never mind.
Yeah, he's down the lip from you right now.
bad.
Oops. There we go. 16. All right. You start to turn around slowly and grab onto the rocks and slide yourself up. Okay. Richard kind of like is like watching you as you get up. Kind of whispers, "Pretty good." As you climb up to him, basically, and then he follows behind you as you move back to the group. By the time you get back to the group, you see that there's probably about 30 to 40 frogs, like, interspersed around them. You guys have frogs on your heads and shoulders and all over you. Some of you guys are getting, like, smacked in the face with tongues. Because, like, the flies will land on your face and then just... Polly, as you're sitting there, one fly just right under your nose, and you're like, oh shit. As smack, smack, smack! 3 frogs just basically clean out your nose and touch your brain.
Giant frogs back there.
As
They're getting closer? That
No.
sounds like it's getting closer?
no, it's just you can feel the movement, and it's such a big boy that it's making noises wherever it's going. And this is it just walking. Wait till it jumps.
The frog was like the size of Amric almost. It's huge.
What frog?
Kaporin points back behind him. He's like, there, like 2 brain-sized frogs and an Amric frog hopped out of the pond as walking across the island.
Oh, it's gonna be great when they finally see these frogs.
Nori's gonna quietly cast Pass Without Trace over everybody. Just to have.
Okay. As you cast the spell, all the frogs in unison turn towards you.
Okay, Nori stops casting.
Oh, this is as you finish your cast.
Great.
That's,
Love this.
That same toad squeal that Kaparin had enjoyed
Okay,
the day before.
drop the spell. Drop the spell.
Oh, they only scream for a little bit. It's not like they're holding it.
Okay.
They kind of all just stare at
That's
you.
gonna help us.
They kind of stare at you for a little bit and then go about their way, just smacking the air for flies.
So I just kind of scared him a bit.
Then you hear a
One goes to seek shelter in a tree.
I'm gonna Homer Simpson it into the tree line, yeah.
Just everyone just hide. Can we all just hide?
everyone
I'd like to make a
makes
stealth check to
checks.
hide.
Yeah.
Everyone, you get a +10.
Did
16.
you get Rachaz up yet?
No, but I have it. So hang on.
There's a 36 from Nori.
Remember, Pass Without Trace is on, so you get to add the +10.
It is a 14 for Amrit.
That'd be a 35
21.
for Ryan. Or for Rick Shaw.
I'm stealthier than Racha?
Well, you nat 20'd. That was just a 15 for him.
Yeah, but still.
Bryn got a 12.
Okay, so we got, what, a 14? Bryn got a 12? Jesus, Bryn.
That would be a nat 1 right there, sir.
Okay. So we'll get to
Bryn-
you. We'll get to you in a second, Bryn.
Yeah, that's great.
I can't use my 20 to forgive her 1.
No, it doesn't work like that. If you were bigger than her, maybe. I'd say you'd be able to catch her. But with your noodle arms? Tell me how you would stop her from falling as she trips over her own foot and starts to faceplant. Onto a bed
I
of
can't.
frogs.
It's not gonna work.
Onto a bed of frogs.
Yeah, because if I tried, I'd end up squishing him too.
You're the only nat 20, so you're the only one that could interrupt it.
I'll try my best to interrupt it, I guess.
You want to try and... How do you want to do it? That's what I'm asking.
Reach out and smack her in the head with your staff.
Yeah, sure, we'll do that. Just try to deflect away from the frogs.
I mean, there's a shit ton of frogs here, but okay.
Where's the least amount of frogs now?
Push her onto the fire. There's no frogs in there.
Go ahead and roll an attack roll on Bryn. You have advantage because she's not trying to stop it technically right now. That is your Staff of Adornment. That's your Staff of Adornment again.
It won't let me roll. Okay, just give me 1 sec. It's only a 16 to hit.
I mean, it hits her, but it hits her armor and just ding!
Shit.
And then
Just made it worse.
squish!
Great.
But with
Just
that,
whispers, sorry.
she just ding, basically rings the bell, and then Nori just melds into the tree line. Definitely Homer Simpson's into the bush and just. The rest of you. 14, 21 for you, Polly.
I know, it's almost impossible to believe.
And a 16 for Kapoor and 35 for Rashad. Okay. So, Bryn, everyone seems to get into the tree line without a problem. Bryn, as you start to push yourself off, and the bodies of the frogs off your armor underneath you onto the floor, you turn and see and feel the next to you as a large frog jumps up.
So he's like right next to me. That's fun.
Waving from the tree line.
Now, for the sake of everyone's eyes and what they can see, I'll light it up a little bit more. But yeah, as you get yourself from unprone, you see this very large frog, and now you realize what Kaporn was saying, and then you realize, wait, is this the Amric or the Bryn one? Because this guy is about the size of a Prius. And so it makes you question Kaporin's verbiage, and you're like, if I survive this, first I'm going to need to find out, and second I'm going to need to beat his ass.
I feel like that's a normal encounter right there. Just a
That's a
how
Tuesday.
did Kaporn fuck it up, and why? What do I have to do now?
But the frog just looks at you, and then looks down at the bodies of its little brethren that are squished, squirted beneath you, and looks back to you and your armor covered in their guts and blood.
Sorry.
I was just making space in the pond for you, okay?
She's
This is
not
why we
gonna go
can't have
towards.
friends.
She's not gonna go towards the tree line since, yeah, she's gonna. Oh God. Yep. Just look at the things. Say sorry and back away slowly without stepping on any of the little frog friends.
Make a persuasion check. Make an animal handling check, actually. Trying to be as non-threatening as possible and sort of backing up. And then, like, putting your foot out, moving the frogs away, and then stepping. Because you're like, it's probably not a good idea to just turn back and be like, sorry, sorry, and then just keep killing frogs as you move around.
Just start shuffling instead of actually picking up your feet, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Just gonna
Yeah.
ice skate on the rock.
Okay, so you move back a little bit, not directly towards the tree line that everyone's at, but sort of back towards the pond. And then you see the frog kind of like move forward to where you just were at, and it just looks down at the bodies of its fellow mate on the floor. And then you just see this giant tongue roll out of its mouth, scoop all the dead bodies up, and then just...
Just do it. I think you just did.
Then it turns around. And then, surprising show of agility from such a large creature, it just takes off into the sky. Then you hear and feel the impact as it lands somewhere far off on the other side of the island.
I will
Nori
stage
pokes her
whisper.
head out of the tree.
I will stage whisper as carefully as I can. Maybe now would be a really good time to search the pond to see if there was another way off this island like Raja suggested.
Nori's gonna creep over to where the pond is.
Probably now or never.
Okay.
What is breathing determined by underwater, or holding your breath underwater?
Constitution. Creeping over to the edge
Nice.
where the pond's at, it's still a layer of lily pads and everything on the top. You'd have to actually go in.
I have seen a lot of these frogs. Do I think I could turn into one?
Yeah. Or something akin, at least.
Are these too high of a challenge rating?
The large ones?
No, like one of the smaller ones.
No.
You stepped on him and killed him. I doubt they're a high challenge rating.
I was just asking, because there could be things with low hit points that just have incredible damage dealing stuff.
Brandon, kiss the frog. Turn it back into Nori.
I haven't, or just like looks over at you, not a frog, just still a person. Why? Why do you do these things?
Huh?
Why do you
Aziz
still
Kapan.
ask?
Bryn's just gonna like look over to. I think that was Polly, right? Who said that?
But yeah, I mean, you haven't spent time like studying them and knowing exactly what they are, but as far as a general overall look and frog behavior, yeah, you can do it, no problem.
Okay, Nori will creep over to the edge. I guess turn into a frog, and then as quietly as possible climb down and get in the pond.
Do they screech at her again?
No, they do not screech at her for this. So you see her kind of like go over the edge of the top portion that you guys were all at, and by the time that Bryn, you could get to the edge to look at her, she's already in frog form, trying to go down the vines and slip into the water below. Now, Nori, oops. Oops, there we go. The lily pads make it like impossible for you to move through them.
I thought you meant as a frog for a second. I was very confused. I'm like, but the other frogs are doing it.
You don't have their gifts.
You don't
Right.
possess the secrets of the frog.
I do not. Fun fact, frogs have a 1 to strength.
Yeah, sounds about right. So, you immediately get down here. Where'd you go? There you are. And you drop into this decently larger cavern. The main thing that surprises you right away is there's some sort of artifact in the middle of this platform down here, surrounded by the different sort of gems and rocks that you guys have been dealt with, but there is this almost lightning bolt-esque connection running to it from what looks to be the rock that is the foundation of this island. And it almost in a trance-like situation has this giant school of fish just constantly swimming around it. You're not sure if they're just attracted to it for the light reasons, or if it's some sort of safety thing, or what else is going on. But as far as the rest of it goes, it's just a decently large chamber. And this is the main thing down here.
Nori's going to stealth her way over.
Okay, roll frog stealth.
So that's a 19 total.
How close do you want to get?
Are you still concentrating on passive without trace?
Yeah, she can do that as
Yes,
a
I
druid.
am. Just okay. I'm going by little increments. If the fish start to react strangely, I'll stop. But I'm trying to get under to where they are so I can see what it is.
Okay.
Because I can see kind of like an obelisk, but I don't know if that's what Nori can see.
Yeah. I mean, with it being the only source of real light down here, you can easily see it, and it's reflecting from the different crystals and everything that are down here. But you get about this far away before all of a sudden those little lightning tendrils that are coming off this artifact of some sort, one reaches out and just impacts you. How much does a frog HP have? 1.
I have 1 hit point and 11 AC.
But auto hits once you get within a range of it. So that's 4.
So I take 4 damage.
4 lightning damage.
All right. So I take 3 because of Frog Nori, and then I'm back to a person. Yeah. Luckily, I can hold my breath.
Con save.
Nat 20.
Alright, pass that trace is still going for everybody upstairs. The fish don't seem to have reacted to whatever happened, and as you moved back from the changing back into Nori form, nothing else seems to be going on. And you're not affected anymore. It's not like it's constantly hitting you. Once you move back, you're fine.
So it's sort of like, okay, so I'm gonna swim around it.
Okay.
Just swimming slow like a person, but doing my best.
Keeping the
Can I
same
see-
distance. The fish seem to be pretty solid, blanketing around it, so it's not giving you much of a purview through. But nothing else seems to be out of place or different.
What about the rest of this cave, from what I can see? Keeping careful time with how much oxygen I have left.
Yeah, I mean, I say swimming around and being careful took 30 seconds. The rest of the cave, it just seems to be like this one cavern that this pond leads out of. So the only entrance and exit is probably that one pond entrance.
I taste the water. Is it salt or fresh?
Fresh? It'd have to be if the pond up top was fresh.
It makes sense why there are so many frogs. Well, I can't do this on my own, so I guess I'm gonna swim up and report back.
Okay.
But I think I want to turn into a frog again, just for safety purposes.
Okay. No.
Just so we don't know that you failed miserably.
Hey, I only got hit once.
Now, during that time, everybody else, What'd you guys like to have been doing?
I'm looking down at the pond, seeing if there's any signs of trouble for Nori.
Okay.
I guess I'll be keeping watch. I'll just make sure to keep a lookout to see if any of the big frogs look like they're coming over towards us.
Try to interact with the frogs, the small ones up here.
You're trying to play with the frogs?
Yeah, see like if they'll jump into my hand or if they'll even let me like get close enough to pick one up.
Yeah. They seem to be fine. You pick one up and look at it and just smack, smack, smack.
I think I lost audio.
Why you do that? Polly, anything?
Staying out of the way.
Okay. Anything for Richa?
I don't know. I feel like he'd be curious about that one that jumped away. I don't know.
Basically,
Went so far.
don't quite pick the most chaotic thing because that's Kaporan, but pick like a semi-chaotic thing that you could possibly get away with, and Richa's probably doing that.
Yeah, I'm not
We
the
still
greatest
Push
person to
them
ask that
somewhere out of
question
the
to.
way.
Up in a tree, surveying the frogs.
Trying to look at every frog
Hurting them
around.
somewhere.
Just trying
like
to learn the
chop
long
that-
jump.
trying to learn frog language, so he's got more stuff.
Yeah, that and the long jump so
Mhm.
he can fly.
Good takeoff technique.
I'm back.
He's back, baby. Okay, so with Bryn really the only one kind of keeping an eye on the pond. Everyone else sort of sticking to the small campsite, being like, we're going to wait for our reconnaissance to come back before we make a move. Richa kind of really trying to rein it in on, oh god, I want to go everywhere and do everything, but I can't. I gotta stay nearby. Actually, to be fair, he's probably really worried about Nori going in there solo. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's sort of like at the top of the pond, just kind of like looking in and looking around. Probably
Just ready to
pencil
dive in himself.
probably bird water facing a little bit. Boop.
Just like one of those dipping birds.
Yep. And he has to keep coming out because every time he like sees like another frog, he goes, "Hi," thinking it's Nori. And then he loses all his breath and he has to he goes back in. Okay. So that's all. Amik, you were saying something when the audio cut out for you.
I was just saying I was going to be keeping watch out for the big frogs, making sure they weren't coming towards us or the camp or the pond.
Okay, perception check.
Campfire's still going up here, right?
Yeah. It's cooked like 3 frogs already.
It's awful dark outside.
Well, you know.
Okay, if the frogs that die in the fire, that is entirely their fault.
Well, they didn't have as much room.
There's a
You
whole other
dodged-
side of the island that they could be jumping on. They didn't have to pick this side.
Oh, there are frogs there. Think of how many frogs that big frog just killed as he hopped across. Made himself another snack. Alright. So. Have Richa roll a perception check as well.
Sorry, I didn't mean to roll it twice.
It's quite alright. Alright. So he's having a hard time So he gets distracted by every other frog that goes in, thinking it's Nori. Hi. 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 Raja, having slightly more intelligence than everyone else, understands that it's not Nori just giving him the cold shoulder. He's just not the right frog. He's gonna have to make sure that Nori has a purple stripe or something every time, so that way he can always find out which one's which.
I like to imagine Nori keeps her eye color with whatever shape she changes into.
Oh, because he can totally see that right away. As a frog swimming through the water. Hold on.
She also is significantly smarter than the average frog, so she'll probably swim up, see Racha, and wave.
Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby. Hello, mister.
Alright, so by the time that it happens, and Nori, you do come up. And you see Racha, and you wave, and first it's just face of Racha, and now it's upper body of Racha as he's waving at you under the water. And comes back out. Bryn, you're hopefully taking this as a good sign. Nor are you just coming straight up and out?
Still being careful and stealthy.
Okay.
Just climbing up the side, because I've got a climb speed, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. I'm just gonna bring a new Nori. 'Cause...
Abandon the one beneath the waves.
Yeah, that one's drowning. Alright. So, you jump up next to Racha. Racha will probably put his hands out for you to jump into his hands, and then you guys move up to the next place if you want to change back.
Yeah, I'll change back so I don't get screamed at. Oh wait, can I understand the frogs in this form?
No.
Or is it like the French-speaking horse?
It's more or less that the frogs aren't communicating.
They're just kind of vibing.
Yeah.
Frogs aren't typically very social creatures.
It's not so much a... And if they did, with the amount of frogs that you have, this is like going into the middle of a concert and trying to have a conversation with... Or trying to listen to a single conversation. It's just like, oh my god, no, please, shut up, everyone. But you're kind of listening and realizing that they're not really saying anything, so you kind of revert back. And
Again, stealth.
Well, yeah. You can't really unwild shape stealthily. I mean, it doesn't make a noise or anything, so it's just it almost sounds like a rustling of leaves as your body just makes its regular form once again. But in that interim time of you listening out for the frogs and then just deciding to unwild shape, you hear the change back to the frogs just regular ribbiting. But you also hear with your feet, you hear someone talking that isn't one of your group.
Okay, then I wouldn't change back. I'd listen.
You didn't hear this in your frog form.
Oh.
You heard this once you changed.
So I can hear it in person Nori.
Yes, Nori form.
Where's it coming from?
You want to go ahead and roll a perception check to see if you can figure it out?
Tis a 22.
As you kind of revert back and look at Rachan, hear this voice, and you listen to it for a second, and you realize it's not common. You can hear the voice, and you know it's someone speaking, but you can't. Actually, let me make sure before I say that. Yeah, you don't. You've heard the language before. It's Draconic, but you don't know what it's saying. It sounds like a female voice. And then you go following your ear, going this way. And as you come this way...
Yeah, Nori will hold up a finger 1 second, and then start stealthing her way over to the voice.
I'm sure Racha would follow stealthily.
Okay, both of you roll stealth. Bryn, you see them just dip into the trees.
Yeah, Bryn ain't gonna fuck that up. Bryn's standing still, watching them.
That's a 31 for Nori.
Then a 28 for Rachel.
Okay.
That's got the plus 10 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a 28 still. I actually have his sheet now.
So you kind of look around, and from what you can tell, you see a bunch of frogs all over the floor here, but then you see one of the larger frogs currently at the edge, and it sounds like the talking is coming from this frog. It's quiet. It's hard to hear, especially with all the rivets going on, but it sounds like it's coming from directly there.
I need to get Richa over there so he can hear the speaking, and then we can bring it back to Koparan. Because Koparan is the opposite of stealthy.
So what do you say to Richa?
Just whisper like, can you hear that too?
It's too low for him to pick up.
And then Nori will motion for follow me to get a little closer.
Okay. How close
Does
do you
it
want to
look
get?
like the frog is talking to someone?
It's got its back to you currently.
We're just gonna travel through the tree line, but staying a couple feet in.
Okay, well, I mean, you see your current situation.
Keep going left, or right, or Nori's right.
Even getting this close, it's too much for Achata to hear.
If it was me losing my mind, I feel like that would have happened a long time ago.
Understandably. It's all been one very hard trip. She accidentally touched the wrong mushroom like 2 years ago. And
Just still the same dream. I'm gonna wake up just in the middle of the forest, just very sad. It's like, oh, it's a dream.
it's gonna be like Narnia, where when she comes back, she's gonna live to be super old in her dream, and then she's gonna come back and be her young self again, and be like, oh shit,
Would I keep my experience?
in your mind.
So, yes. I wouldn't have the same HP, but I'd still have the ability to do all the spells.
You would be wise, but unable to physically manifest the magic.
They should
Alright.
make a
Guess get a little closer, keep going, keeping to the trees.
This is about as far as you can go without jumping down. Mm-hmm.
Nori's gonna look at Richon and says, and it's gonna go, should we get closer or should we leave? Because they're saying things.
I'm not good at Rachel speak. Oh god.
But you got his notebook of quotes.
I do. It's not gonna help.
Well, I mean, it's an option.
people fucking with
I
shit.
guess.
Richon,
Yeah,
I
we'll
need
go
your
with the
help.
itching option.
Richon, I need your help making this decision. Not it's an option, helping with the decision.
For the love of God, don't poke it.
So
You're
go
so
back.
much better.
I mean, it's an option.
Richon, decisions.
Decisions.
Do it quietly in the bathroom or something. feel like he'd like shoo you away and then try to get closer just by himself. Knowing Racha. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I might be wrong.
Well, she's been
No,
rolling
that seems
higher
like
stealth than him, so.
That he has the higher stealth. I have a +6 normally. He has a +13. Yeah, if he ends up going forward, Nori will just be like, I'll be here for backup.
I think it's hard for us to get into Racha mind because I played Racha dickishly, but also cautiously, and Bryn plays Racha cautiously. So, but Racha plays it fucking straight to the wind. So it's kind of like, what would Racha actually do here? I have to have Racha send me his notebook so I know his lines.
I'll take pictures.
Because there's one that would work here, but I forgot what. I know what it meant, but I don't remember what the line was.
He also does not write down every single thing. What does it mean? I can try to find it.
Well, that would destroy the whole point of saying the line.
Fair.
Okay. He just kind of like look at you, look back at the big frog.
Nori will shrug and say, it's an option.
People having sex back in the day.
I was thinking about that one, but I don't know how it applies here.
I still don't know what that one means.
I do.
Other than in literal sense, I don't know what he means when he says it.
Racha literally has one draconic sentence.
Having to be bird, I understand most of the time what he means when he speaks bird. So I know what he means when he says that one, but it doesn't apply here. To be like...
Like, he has stuff highlighted, and I know it's for a reason. And I know it's like, oh, this is a yes, this is a no, but I don't fucking remember what they mean.
I'm trying just... It's hard to think of his words. Basically, we're trying looking back and forth between you and the frog and what you guys have said so far. I don't know. Boom shakalaka?
Make a decision, Nori.
But he would whisper that one.
We're not gonna kill it. It's their home.
Well,
They're
he
chilling.
just points back to where Bryn's at. Dead people that way.
What?
And then he pantomimes Bryn falling on the frogs and killing probably a good 8 to 10.
Is this the biggest of the frogs we've seen?
You've seen? This matches. Not Kaporan, though. Kaporan's the only one that saw the largest one.
I'm Rick Frog.
Yeah, I guess stealth went way back, report back that, hey, one of the frogs is speaking Draconic.
Okay, so we're going back. Go ahead and bully your roll stealth.
That's the wrong stat. That is survival. Can I keep it and just -1?
No.
Or do I have to roll the stealth? Damn it! Uh, 32!
Racha got a 46. No, 43, sorry.
3,
43.
right?
Yeah.
Dear Lord.
So
Gone with the wind.
you tell him, okay, we're gonna go back and talk to the others. And then you blink and he's gone.
Sounds about right. Alright. Sneaking our way back.
All of you guys are sitting there kind of waiting, Kaporan talking to a frog. And Nori sneakily comes back without you guys noticing as Racha just seems to slide out of a leaf and land quietly next to everybody.
So, one of the frogs is speaking Draconic, and I don't know why.
Everyone's here besides Polly, who's still in the tree line like, fuck that.
Like, where'd Polly go?
I mean, I can see you guys. I'm just trying to.
The
stay
frog
off
ate
that.
him.
Wait, what did Polly roll on his stealth?
By now, since he hasn't moved, I've like quadrupled his stealth. There's frogs walking all over him, and he's just like becoming one with the tree.
Okay, never mind. Because I was gonna say I thought he rolled like a 21, so then I could possibly see him.
Oh no, he
28.
has become one with this island.
He's starting to do that face paint like PETA does in the Hunger Games.
His beard blends into the trees.
Started woving his beard into the tree.
Well, they were speaking. It was speaking Draconic, and it had a more feminine voice. And Rachel couldn't hear it. I don't know if that's because I. How on earth do you say I have the observant feet? Because it doesn't make sense.
I have sensitive ears.
Yeah, she's an elf. Part. But he couldn't hear it. So he couldn't repeat it back.
I'm very, very good at being nosy.
I'm very paranoid.
There you go, that works. Everyone agrees and understands that one.
Horns.
You don't even get through with the sentence. You go, I'm very yeah, we know.
Sorry, jeez.
Hear anything they said?
Well, as soon as you say Draconic, Racha is going to say, fuck the fucking queen in Draconic.
Does any of the frogs react to that sentence?
No.
I mean, if one of them's speaking Draconic, I could attempt to speak to it. Which one was it?
Looked about to be the same size as the one that came up here.
Ah, so the Bryn-sized frog.
What? Why is that your comparison?
I
You said
don't
the other
even
ones-
want to know right now. Mm-mm. Nope.
Okay,
We're not asking that question right now.
Don't tell me.
Where is it?
Literal 2-ton frog. It's a Bryn size.
Is this
Very
island literally
rude.
covered in frogs? Like you can't step anywhere, even in the trees.
Well, now that some are starting to slowly die off, some in larger numbers than others, it's not ridiculous to the point where there's like all on top of each other. There's space to like slide your foot between, but it's a good coating.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot. I got distracted. When I went underneath the water, there was this sort of, how would I describe it though?
Obelisk is about right.
This obelisk with lightning, and it was surrounded by a school of fish. And when I got close, it struck me with lightning. So if we want to try anything, we will probably want to try that, but we will be entering the frog's domain.
Right about now, you smell something cooking.
Like chicken?
Yeah, something like that.
Frog legs are basically like chicken.
Has Polly started a fire and is eating frogs?
No, I'm cooking frogs over my bag of molten lava.
Just has it open, and a frog just jumps and kills itself.
I mean, I was trying to be quiet and stay out of the way, and I got hungry waiting for you guys to not be stealthy and, tell me you were doing something, so...
An
Like
icon.
Richard just starts having PTSD and the smell of chicken.
Alright, so do we go check out the pond altogether if we can? Or do we
I'd
try to
say-
talk to the frog?
I'd say we wait on the pond until I can have the water breathing spell, because I did get struck by lightning.
Gosh,
Yes,
that's
I'm
all
gonna
it is.
I guess we can try to talk to the frog.
I mean, the one who jumped away, I don't know, acknowledged me somehow. I said sorry.
Didn't attack you. Maybe they can understand. How
I
do
know.
you speak Draconic?
The Corn starts speaking. He's already started having trying to have a conversation with the frog in his hand. He's like, "Do you understand me, little guy?"
Richard comes up to him. Fuck the fucking queen.
Yeah.
The frog doesn't respond to either.
Okay. Maybe not the little ones. One just kind of puts the little one that he's carrying on his shoulder. Like, here.
Immediately jumps off.
Aww. Picks up another one, puts it on his shoulder.
Immediately jumps off.
Fine.
I feel like Rachel would just try to perch on Kaporan's shoulder now. Make him happy.
It's getting close.
On the
Richard immediately jumps off.
And the frog that
And squishes 17 frogs.
No, with Richard's
Wasn't that-
acrobatic skills, he'd land on the top of the tree where there's no frog.
jumps from one tree to another. One tree.
And the fact that there are so many frogs makes sense. The cavern under there is massive, and it has a lot of the crystals there as well.
Ah. Can you point me in the direction of the female talking draconic frog?
Yes, it's through the trees this way.
Or if no one stops him, just starts walking in that direction.
Can I give him the help action with stealth?
That would make it so you couldn't roll stealth.
So what would happen to me?
You just are walking.
All right, then I'm gonna just.
Because basically
stealth
you're
and
using
hope
your
the
action
parrot
to
stealths
stealth.
as well.
Or you'd be basically using your action to help, but you also need to have an action to stealth. So,
Yeah,
I'm sure I already
so
helped you with Pass Without a Trace.
that's true. Hey. All right.
alright, so anyone who's going, so we got Kapoor, Nori, anyone else want to go talk to some frogs?
I'm not gonna ruin this adventure of my heavy armor.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a 26 for me.
15 for Kapoor.
I feel like Rachat would go though.
Oh, definitely.
He's taking on the form of my backpack again.
Nori waves to her heavily armored companions and disappears into the trees.
I'll peek my head out of the trees and wave the cooked frogs at Bryn and Amric. You guys hungry?
Starving. Thank you, Paul.
That'd be great.
Grab a frog.
The bottom lit face of Polly in the tree with a yellow glow.
Oh, that's where you were.
Yeah, I figured I'd just stay out of the way of everything.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially since she's gonna look down at the frogs on her armor.
Yeah, that's gonna take some getting, some scrubbing. That's pretty gross.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So, leading Kapoor out onto the little platform of rock over here. You guys see the frog? Nori, listening in, you could still hear the slight talking of some sort of female draconic voice.
Can I slip through the trees to see if I can? Because where the frog is facing, can I go around to see what it would be facing?
Like I said, this is pretty much as far out as you can get on the same level. You'd have to start climbing down or up
Okay.
to start doing that, but it requires more stealth checks.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
try that.
You want to go up or down?
Let's stay up.
Okay, go ahead and roll stealth.
So that is 25.
Okay. You get up to the same platform that Rachad's currently on, getting to the edge, but you still can't really see whatever it may be looking at. So if you want to continue on, you can either jump.
Gonna continue on.
You can either jump down the main way to go. So roll another stealth check.
$29.
Where'd you go? Nori disappeared.
I mean, that's what I was trying to do.
Does Nari give any indication that she's trying to see what this frog is looking at,
There's
or
Nari.
would?
Nope. Does she ever? Oh,
Or you
Just
start
going-
flying.
It's like what Vichad does. He kind of just goes and does the thing.
so you creep down into this spot. Oh, son of a bitch, Nori.
Sorry.
Oh, Nori, you piss me off.
Now the frog just eats Nori because
Where has she gone now?
The fact that our pieces keep disappearing into the void is very funny.
And since you're not in the game, I can't click on... Wait, I can do this. There you are. You are somehow... You are there, and yet you are not there.
I would totally
Another
pull it up, but
Nori
my laptop cannot handle the intricacies of this map.
Alright, pulling up a new Nori.
Third time's the charm.
All the clones.
Nori was a doppelganger all along.
Oh, Nori broke again. There she was for a second. Aha! There she is. Alright. So you get there, but you're in probably some of the thicker portions of the trees now. You can continue climbing across the rocks and through the trees and try and get around, but you're still not quite able to see what it's looking at. Because
Let's keep going.
it's not looking like straight, it's kind of looking down.
Yeah, I got you.
Alright, go ahead and roll stealth.
I was completely ready just to jump down the cliff and go.
28.
It's a frog talking draconic to a lizard.
There's a sea dragon.
Go ahead and roll athletics for me. As you're this is a straight up climb that you're having to do.
That is a 23.
That's animal handling.
Whoops, I got a plus. I clicked the wrong one. Watch this be a nat one. Oh, that is a 21.
So you climb yourself up. What's funny is Amric and Bryn, you guys hear some scurrying in the trees directly behind you.
Do they?
Can we
well,
look and see what we can
They hear the
find?
scurrying. They don't see anything. No, she sneaked too much for you to see her. You're just like, might be some bigger frogs that way. Maybe not quite big, but bigger.
Like not as big as the frogs we've seen, but definitely bigger than the average frog.
Yeah. Okay. But you're up basically where the back end of the campsite. Go ahead and roll a perception check. You're trying to peer through trees to possibly get an eye on what this
It's only a
thing.
12.
Unfortunately, it's just a little too thick and too precarious.
Little bit curious. I'll get closer.
Okay.
Continue to stealth.
Let's see where we're at now. Okay, this shelf goes a little bit, but go ahead and roll stealth.
We just feel so frustrated. She just stealths up behind the frog.
26. As Without Trace is such a good spell when it's either the best spell in the world or completely useless. It has no in between.
Now, your it's up to you. You can either go down or you can climb through the trees. The trees are thick enough here now to the point where, especially with you having tree stride and everything like that, you're used to moving through the trees. So it shouldn't be too difficult, but it's your choice to either go through the trees or stay on the rock.
What would be the rolls associated with them?
I can't tell you that.
I guess we're going through the trees.
Okay, you can use athletics or acrobatics.
We can use acrobatics.
All right.
As a 22.
Okay, you kind of see a few trees up ahead and channeling your inner Racha kind of chip, chip, chip. And get yourself on top of the tree. And go ahead and roll perception.
$21.
Okay. As you're able to kind of situate yourself in the tree and look down, you see that there is some sort of female creature standing almost in the shadow of this toad, as it's kind of like looking down upon her, and she seems to be down on one knee, currently sifting through the lily pads. It looks like she's looking for something, maybe feeding frogs or whatever, but she seems to be sort of talking to herself and sort of to the toad. And that's the origination.
My first thought was like, oh, is she proposing? But we're going to move on for that.
Not quite.
We're going to keep watching.
Okay. Kaporan, Racha?
Nori vanished into the trees without a trace.
Uh-huh.
And Kaporan was just planning to step off the ledge just now.
And I left Racha and Kaparin alone.
The best duo.
What the hell was it that frog that she was talking about?
Indubitably.
Okay. Nori? Kaporan looks around and is like, what? Okay. He's gonna start climbing down.
Whatever you do, don't poke it.
I won't poke it.
I don't know.
You are our only way home.
But if I can climb down without stepping on any toads at the bottom, I will. If not, I will attempt to hover above the toads. So the frogs.
Okay. I mean, if you go
Looked up
slow
and
enough,
almost died.
you can put your foot down, and not all your weight, and the frogs will move out of the way, and then you can step.
Yes. And
I feel like Rachel's probably going to have Acacia out just in case.
Yeah, it's probably a good plan.
See, now she's channeling her inner Racha.
from
So-
this perspective,
Go ahead.
can I perceive or do a perception check to see, is it the frog that's talking? Is it the frog that's talking?
You
or...
can't tell from this. It's literally its back.
Then Gaporan's just gonna try using just kind of like a quiet call out, hello?
Nori, by the time you get up into the trees and look down, you see this female individual, and then you see Kaporan kind of has slipped down from the perch, moved a little bit forward, and goes, hello?
Intraconic.
Of course.
Nori does do that. She does a whole-on facepalm, and if she didn't roll a 26 on stealth, you'd be able to hear it.
She leaf palms.
I should have had Kaparan cast tongues on me. That's the move that should have happened.
But you said it quietly enough there's no response. Nor, from what you could tell, it doesn't seem that they've registered Kaporan.
Yeah, Nori's gonna... Knowing that she came really close to the camp, she's going to slip back to the camp and scurry back. Again, being as stealthy as possible.
Alright, acrobatics first, and then your stealth.
There it is!
So as Nora, you leaf palm, and then you're like, fuck. And you go to turn around, and your foot just swoop! And you're just like, oh. You see yourself reaching out and grabbing hold and just moving towards your group. But alas, that does not happen. Four points of bludgeoning damage.
How many?
4. As everyone up at the top of the campsite, because this happens directly behind some of the trees, Kaporan, everyone hears the as she slips through the trees and lands on not as hard of a fall as you would have expected, because the frogs sort of cushioned some of that blow. But you definitely have a gooey butt now, as there's about 5 dead frogs because of you.
Well, at the very least, I'm small. Try to disappear into the trees again.
Okay, roll a stealth check if you can do it fast enough.
$23.
Okay. So you...
So we just hear this kaboosh and then don't see her?
Yeah, because she fell down.
Very great.
Try to get the frogs off her.
And Kaporan, you look over to the noise as well, and then you also see the frog turn and look towards it. Then you see this female figure sort of move around the side of the frog, looking in that direction as well. They don't seem to have noticed you yet. But go ahead and roll perception check for me.
Who?
Compare it.
$22.
Okay. You see stepping out behind the frog a very slender individual wearing what looks to be long, tattered robes. Almost, not even robes, almost Moo-Moo-esque, of just full-on covering drapery, basically. That is so long, tattered, and worn that it looks like it probably had a design on it at some point, but it is just so far gone that it's almost become monochromatic. Her hair reaches all the way down to the floor, silver white, and her green-skinned arms outstretched in front of her, and of her holding a staff in one hand and what looks to be like chum in the other. It looks like she'd probably be feeding fish. Her green face comes down into a long, pointed, sharp point nose. And she kind of is looking forward and trying to peer through the darkness and into the trees where the noise had come from. And you see sharp, almost dagger-like teeth. She stands right about 5 foot.
Nothing of any dragonborns he's known, or
No scales, no nothing. No. But in Draconic, you hear, "Who goes there?"
Oh, wonderful.
She turns back to the toad. "Go look." And immediately, leaping, you all up here get the fright of your life as one of the larger frogs careens over the trees and lands directly next to you all, kind of looking at everyone, and then almost immediately, like, I don't give a fuck, and turns around and looks back to where the noise had originated from. Nori, make a dexterity saving throw. As the tongue lolls out of this creature and just starts darting into the trees, trying to impact whatever made the noise.
17.
Like bullets flying through trees, you just, this large tongue just ripping apart trees and branches around you as it's trying to find whatever created this noise. Luckily, you're able to hunker and hide and get as low as possible, and you don't get impacted. This goes
Just
on.
imagine the tongue going right over her head and just big eyes holding the staff close to her, just like, shit.
After a little less than a minute of this, it gives up and jumps back. Everyone up here kind of just witnessing this creature just, and then you hear the impact of it landing not too far
That's
away.
probably not good, right?
I mean, it didn't attack us, so I don't think it's bad.
Yeah, but still looking for something. Whatever fell.
It didn't eat anything either, so...
That's fair.
This one being the same size as the one you had seen earlier, but not the same frog.
Did a lot of damage to those trees, though.
It's a frog.
Yes,
They
he
all look
did.
the same.
Yeah, to be fair.
Did this one have like a mohawk on it or something to make it look different?
It had a purple stripe.
Being this close to you guys actually would have seen, this one has a silver stripe that runs down its back.
So that one's silverback.
Did Bryn notice anything about the other one since it got semi-close, or was it not close enough?
Since you saw the back of it, you would have seen it has a blue stripe.
And both of these frogs are Prius-sized.
Yeah. Kaporin, you witness the frog jump away, become a lumberjack, and then jump back. All the while, this person just staring where it disappeared to, and then it coming back and talking to it. The frog never responds, especially in Draconic, but she talks to it. Did you find anything? Interesting. Oh well. Come on. And she turns around and starts walking up the beach.
Gosh. Passes Nori.
Nori's still hiding.
Nori's one with the trees.
And now they're out of sight.
I'm gonna follow him.
You're gonna follow him? Through the trees?
Yeah, but being very careful and not climbing. Not
Okay.
climbing the trees again. Just carefully, one step at a time.
Yeah, I feel like Richa would stealth the way they went if they noticed that they were going up that way.
Okay. So stealth for Richa and Nori.
$25.
35.
Okay. How long does Pass Without Trace last? An hour?
Yep.
Okay.
I was underwater for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, you're good. So, following, obviously, they're going regular speed because they're not trying to be stealthy and you're going slower. So, you kind of peel around the corner and you're able to keep eyes on them until this point. So, if you want to continue on, roll another stealth check. Same for Richa.
21.
27.
Okay. So, continuing on, yet again. They're getting into the open area now, so if you want to continue to the edge of the tree line, stealth once more.
$31.
28.
Orange just kind of walking the pathway they took.
So you're walking behind them?
Like after they turn the corner, he just starts kind of slowly walking around. Like they don't seem. Yeah, he's just kind of slowly tracing behind them.
Richa and Nori are one with the night and one with the trees, and you're just having a beach walk.
Okay. All the while, Bryn, Amric, and Polly don't know any of this.
We're just enjoying our frog legs.
Yep.
We're full, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're all getting a short rest up here. Don't worry about us, guys.
Glad you're having a nice time, honestly.
I am, thank you.
This is where we would be at by the time that you guys follow up and get to the edge of the tree line. You see the frog that had initially met Bryn up near the mine area as they start to approach it. Too far away for you guys to hear anything.
So I guess I'm just gonna watch. Like a
Okay.
creep.
And about this time, you see Kaporin just strolling by.
Nori just kind of side-eyes him, having, like, fallen and just gotten all scraped up in the trees. Just like, bruh.
Doesn't know that you fell from the trees, nor that the frog went to go attack this area. He just knows that the frog went and chewed up a bunch of trees.
But Kaporin, you get to this point, and all you can see is the back of a couple of these larger frogs, the ones you've seen earlier. And that's about it from this distance.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of go up to, I'd say, the end of the tree line and call out to them.
Okay.
There's nothing I can do to stop this, is there?
There's plenty of things you can do to stop this, and just what do you want to do?
Cast silence.
I don't have the spell! I have cast silence on self, but that's about it.
He told Kaporin's like #1 goal is to try to have a conversation with this person, because that's what he or with this thing / person, because that's what he was asked to do.
Kaporin's #1 goal is to not listen to the party when they tell him to be cautious.
Yeah.
I feel like Richa take up a little pebble, throw it at Kaporin, try to hit him quietly, and then just whisper, "My tree friend here."
Wait, where is Richa? And
Well,
That's why he threw a pebble at you.
make an attack roll against him. Roll a d20. And add his dex.
He would get his, yeah, so 5.
So 21.
So a pebble comes out and pegs you in the side of the head. Mind you, Richaw's about 20 feet away. So whispering, it's going to be a very stage whisper.
For sure.
just turns around, he's like, "Ow!"
Just
Yeah,
full
you just
volume,
hear
ow.
my free trend here.
You can't even perceive where
You don't know where
that
they're
came
at.
from.
Nope. You just hear it from the direction of the trees, and you hear Richaw say, "My tree friend here."
Then you hear a shh from a distance away from that.
Horn's just gonna climb back up then. It's the part towards Bryn then.
Alright. Roll a d20 for me.
Great 10.
So, Kaporin peels around the corner. And you two, obviously in the tree line, probably just open-eyed, angry eyebrow watching as he walks by.
Just 2 pairs of eyes in the trees, just like cartoon style, both of them looking very angry.
And Kaporin just kind of like rounds around the tree, like looking down, like, shh. And then Kaporin, you boop directly into something large and soft and kind of sticky.
Huh?
Leaning up against the rock, and with its coloration kind of blending in, the largest of the frogs that you had seen earlier seems to be resting in this little corner of the cutout. You two not being able to have seen it because where you guys were able to hide last, there's a bit of a rock formation right there. And you kind of like boop and like pull yourself off. Ugh, man. The giant frog turns and looks at you. This thing sits about 3 feet taller than you. As you know, at first it was resting, so it was kind of like smoothed out and pushed down. But since you walked into it, it's now like gotten up and turned to you. It's now looking down as you two now see the Amric-sized toad, which is about the size of a minivan. More Escalade-esque, to be fair. It's just staring down at you.
Horn kind of pulls out one of his rations and it's like, ration?
Make an animal handling check. You hold up the ration and you see this tongue about 3.5 feet wide roll out of this creature's mouth and just slowly kind of wraps around the ration and then quickly wraps around your entire upper body and just whoop, sucks you in. Currently, Kaporn is inside the frog.
We can hold 7 people comfortably.
Nori just is kind of watching this.
Horn's on the inside is like, excuse me, sir, it's not nice to eat your friends.
Ow. Ooh, this is hot. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh, hot. You're starting to get digested.
Oh, God. Oh, I have acid on... Wait, I don't have that equipped.
So...
Find a way out of there, buddy.
10 points of acid damage.
Calm emotions?
It's calm. You're just getting digested. There's no way that this is gonna...
Thunderclap?
That's what you want to do.
I mean, would this creature fall under animal messenger?
You can try.
You're still getting digested.
I'm pretty sure Animal Messenger specifies that it has to be a tiny animal.
Yeah, I think it's tiny.
And
it'd be hilarious if this giant frog that's currently eating you jumps over to Bryn and goes, I'm inside!
Nori's just watching this, looking absolutely fucking baffled.
Yeah, but Kaporn's gonna thunderclap the toad.
Okay. Go ahead and... What save is that? I'm gonna give it disadvantage.
It's con.
Con? Okay.
Con 17.
2 15s with a +5 con.
Oh.
So it takes half damage.
Okay. I'll roll.
Nine points of damage.
Alright.
1 second. Okay. So, 5 damage. And Nori and Rachad, as you guys are watching this frog, you just see it kind of like inflate for a second, and you hear a... And then it deflates again. And it kind of burps out a little bit of smoke.
It gets fucked up.
So, Start of the turn again. That's another 10 points of damage.
I kind of just want him to figure this out on his own.
Okay. Of course, we discussed this already. That everything's at 3rd level.
Anything higher than a 3rd level.
Anything higher than a 3rd level. So would like something like Dimension Door just be? I wouldn't be able to use Dimension Door, correct?
Yeah, that's 4th level.
Yeah. Okay.
Make sure everyone's okay.
Oh dear.
I think he needs to learn a lesson. I'm gonna give him about 10 more seconds.
Feeling happy for some reason right now. Not sure why.
I mean, honestly, it's really quiet. I mean, stands the frogs.
Ribbit, 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 ribbit.
If he doesn't get out within like 3.5 turns, I'll help, but we're gonna let him try to figure this out on his own.
Shatter. It's an 18. So it's half damage.
Does that mean he shatters himself too?
Right. What's the area of effect for that?
Complete.
It's a
It's a-
20-foot cube.
And
But yeah, you would hit yourself with it.
Would he technically hit Richat and Nori then too?
No, you guys aren't that close. 10-foot cube is not even large enough to get out of the size of this creature. This creature stands about 10 feet tall at its highest.
I'm gonna attempt a guiding bolt in its gut.
Well, you did the one thing, so start of the next turn. Another 6 points of damage.
Okay.
You guys again see the frog go. So it blows out more smoke.
All right, he's figuring it out on his own. Okay.
I don't trust that motherfucker.
Actually,
Instead of
I'm actually gonna shoot a magic. Can I shoot a magic missile into its gut?
Yeah.
it'll just be at 3rd level, so there'll be less starts.
Not for
I
him.
think Start. Oh, okay.
Coming out of the loot, any of those specific spells stay at the regular level because it's pulling magic from the loot itself rather than from the surround. Just like the Trentamere stuff.
Okay, let me just. Alright, 20.
Does the loot have Misty Step?
No, I think that was his own spell. His Dimension Door was his own spell.
$24 points into its gut.
Okay. Rolls a con save, see if it keeps you down. It does. So you guys see the frog sort of get lit from inside for a moment, and then you hear burp. And then you see the frog kind of like waddle sideways a little bit and kind of plant all of its legs down. And then it leans down close to the ground. And then jumps straight up. Nori, Actually, Rachatu, he's pretty observant. With your passive perceptions, you guys see this frog jump 150 feet into the air. And then it comes down, spreading its legs out, not going to stop itself from taking damage. It, from its own jumps, takes half damage from anything when it's jumping, from fall damage. Kaporin, you would take 3/4 damage because you're inside this thing. Usually, in this situation, you would take half damage, but it's purposely trying to do this to hurt you, so it's putting its stomach directly in the impact, so there's only really a thin layer of the blubber and fat for protective purposes. So 150 feet, a d6 for every 10 feet, that's 15 d6.
Flop.
Let me go ahead and just go ahead and roll it in the good old 20. There we go. So you take 48 points of bludgeoning damage, as it takes 30.
All right.
And everyone hears, feels, sees. First off, you guys see this thing shoot up like a rocket into the sky, this giant frog. And then just go careening down. And though you guys couldn't see the impact, you knew it impacted because the whole place just shakes heavily from the impact.
Bruh. Just in Nori's voice.
Everyone has to like reach out and hold on to something as everything starts to calm down. Then you see the two frogs have turned around to see what's going on. The female individual between them, followed up by another female individual next to her. But beyond that, coming out of the other tree line, I don't really have many options in the way of tokens. A third semi-female looking individual coming from a far way away, so you can't really tell. But going off gait and slenderness, you're guessing probably female, comes out of the tree line and though she does look to be older because she's got a slight hunch to her back and is seemingly supporting herself with what looks to be a staff. She's walking forward, speaking a language that neither of you three would know. But you've heard it before. In the Fire Giant Cave. This is giant speak. And she comes out and starts speaking to the toad, and it turns and faces her. Kaporin, your turn.
Oh. I thought there's something else was going to happen.
Oh, whoops, sorry. I gotta roll for a con save. Yep, keeps you in.
I'm gonna throw Mantle of Majesty and try to command it to get me out.
Okay.
Or You're gonna shoot me like a bullet out of its mouth if it.
You just say puke and are
what's the
freed.
what's it say? Wisdom?
I believe so. I have to pull up the command spell. I believe it's a wisdom. It should be a wisdom 17.
Yeah, wisdom saving throw. Yeah, that's only a 16. So what was
Yay.
your one word?
It'll be puke.
Okay. As this female entity starts walking and talking towards the Banderhob, she's saying something, and all of a sudden, you see the Banderhob just bleh, and send him out 15 feet away. Just tumbling.
I'm picking
Mari
himself
just-
up.
Watching from the trees, slow blink.
Kind of picks himself up. He's like, turns around, turns to look at it and say, "Thank you." Kind of cleans himself off, throws himself. Can I throw myself a healing word before anything else happens?
As you're getting up and you say thank you and you stand up, facing the Banderhob this entire time, you hear a behind you.
What was that?
You turn around and look at this somewhat decrepit-looking elderly female, and as she's hunched over holding the cane, but as she's slowly righting herself up, that's all of her bones popping back until she stands. She stands a good 8 feet tall by the time that she fully gets herself into a full stance. Looking at her, blue skin across everything, her skin tight to the bone, and her hands are the first thing you notice, as the fingers on them are extraordinarily long with sharp claws at the end of it. Looking into her face, she has tattered garments on and almost like a tattered shawl that covers up the majority of her head. Little thin wisps of white hair do come out about a little past shoulder length as her nose comes down to a point, and her white dagger-like teeth. She's just looking at you now, looking down. Says something to you in a language you don't understand, but you know it to be giant. And with that, it's time to roll initiative.
Do I get my action off? No.
Nope.
Okay.
Does everyone roll initiative or just Kaparin?
Comparing, actually everyone rolls initiative, because with that giant frog leaping into the air, I'm sure everyone's on alert now.
Try to do it.
Wow, 2 18s and 2 8s.
Okay. So 25 to 20. Oh, whoops. Where am I going? I guess 25 to 20?
9.
Nobody? Okay, 19 It's a 15.
Chow got an
Nine.
18.
Rachel and I have an 18.
Okay, so we're Charlie and Amric.
Born at 17.
Okay. Down to 15. Okay. So 14 to 10?
None.
No one?
No one.
Okay. Um, 9 to 5?
Ellie and I got 8s.
Nori goes first.
Okay.
Bryn got a 3.
Oh, and then there's Bryn.
It's okay.
She's reluctant to help.
All right. So at the beginning of this, the female individual in front of you, Kaporn, gets to go first. Fitting.
Oh, yay.
Okay. Okay, so she is going to ...15 feet in that direction. Actually, no, she wouldn't. Use her movement to go in that direction. Yeah. She's going to cast Cone of Cold. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. She takes her staff and points it down to you, and just a massive eruption of ice-cold wind just blasts in front of her.
Yeah, I wasn't asked to counterspell it, but
This is actually considered innate spellcasting. So there is no movement and spelling to it. This is sort of like your loot coming out of the staff to a degree.
okay.
This is more... I think they're actually bringing it up in this next D&D book, where they're changing a lot of what it's called. They're no longer calling it spellcasting, specifically for counterspell reasons, saying this is more of just like their abilities. Okay, so that is a fail. So that's 8d8.
They don't even have to roll. I'm down.
Even if they get all 8s? I mean, all 1s, I mean?
Yeah, I have 7.
Okay. What's your max HP?
96.
Okay, so they can't kill you. Alright.
Yeah, they can't kill me outright.
Alright. Just making sure there wasn't a... If they go to 0 hit points, they freeze. Okay. So with that, you see this female reach out with the staff and just a burst of cold energy, and by the time that it dissipates, Kaporan lays unconscious on the floor. Ending that brings us to... I'm actually going to have to use a different character for this one. So we'll use... this one as 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Or not. Come on, you can do it. You can move. It's just a lot of floor stuff. You're fine. You got this.
And there's quicksand. She dies.
I'm gonna move there. These tokens do not like moving through this sand. Is gonna use the rest of her movement to get up to Kaporin and start looking at him. Ending that turn. Racha, you're up. Bryn Racha, you're up.
Oh god. I'm so good at options.
Come on, Bercha, you got this.
I mean, he wouldn't want his friend to go down. Even though he did it to himself. I guess pull out an arrow. I don't know how it works. Is that a bonus action?
Are you doing the special arrow?
Yeah.
Then yeah, it's a bonus action.
Okay, getting that out.
It'd be
Are we
considered-
still
It's a coastal one.
coastal one? Are we still hidden?
Yep.
Okay.
So he would get advantage in sneak attack.
Yeah.
If he hits.
Trying to think if he would actually want to attack the thing though, because
You can hold it too. So it would be light
Alright, well-
damage.
all right, we'll hold it to see what she does to Kapoor, and if she looks like she's gonna try to kill him, then we'll
Okay.
shoot it.
Alright, any Rachaz or an Amric.
Okay. So how far exactly are we from what's currently going on?
You just know that just beyond the campsite is where that large frog impacted. And then you heard something else happen.
Okay. I'll head over. Like I'll kind of go across the rocks in that direction, as far as I can, anyway.
That's 30. And here you can see the large frog.
I'm guessing I don't see Kaporin's corpse or anything like that.
Nope.
I will, if I haven't already, draw my sword and my shield,
Okay.
and I'll dash to the edge of that.
15 right there, and now you can see the large frog, Kaporin down on the ground, and some female-looking thing over him.
Have any of them looked at me yet?
Nope.
Okay. I'll kind of crouch down there for now and just I'll get out of the way of the ladder or whatever that is.
Make a perception check for me, actually, first.
Perception. 7.
Okay, yeah. You just see some person over the top of him. You said you wanted to go down?
No, I'm gonna stay up here, but call it. I'm going to get out of the way of this ladder or whatever it is that I'm standing in front of, so that if the other people behind me want to go down, they can.
Okay.
And then I'll kind of crouch down, but I'll stay there for now.
Roger that. Ending Amric's turn brings us to Kaporin, so I need a death save. That is a fail. Okay. Then after Kaporin's turn. I know.
The wolves come out of the water.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard a barking frog?
That's exactly what it is. No, the female individual that was seen earlier by Nori, by the frogs. Come here, doggy. The one that you had noticed earlier, Nori, seems to notice what's going on, but seeing as the situation seems to be getting taken care of, kind of just yells out something in Draconic. Actually, no, not Draconic. Common to the other ladies. And you just hear, "What was it?" And that's going to end its turn. And that brings us down to Nori.
I can see parents kind of dying on the floor there, can't I?
Just a little bit.
All right. Is that right home? Nori's gonna hold up her hands and come out, and she heard them speak common. So she's gonna come out and say, "I'm only healing him. I mean no harm."
So that's 25 feet right there.
Okay. Do they see me?
Yes, they see you and look at you, and even the large toad turns and faces you.
Nori will hold up her hands and go, "I'm just healing him," and is gonna cast a healing word.
Okay. Go ahead. Hey,
That dog
that's
toad
enough.
does not like that.
That's 6 HP to you.
6 HP, Kaporin.
She heard them speak common, so
Mm-hmm.
you mean no harm. We're not here super by choice.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm definitely good at these. That's an 11.
Okay. All right, ending Nori. End your turn right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna end my turn right there.
Polly, you're up.
I will double dash to the noise.
Oh wait, I rolled performance. Whoops. It's the same bonus.
You got control of your guy, right, Polly?
I know, but it's easier for you to do it because mine skips and I'll pop all over the place, and I'm just using mine to look at things, not to actually.
And you have 25, right?
Yeah, so
Okay. So that was your 25 plus 10. And now you see the situation.
Caporn's still on the ground.
Yeah, but he's moving.
Is he? Okay. He still doesn't look that great though, does he?
He's got some chilly aspects to him.
Okay.
But Nori is right beneath you, hands up.
Yeah, I'll still throw him another healing word at second level.
Okay, go ahead. One more
Or
points,
11.
Born. Then end your turn, Polly. You're gonna stay up here. Okay. Any
I'll move down another 10 feet towards Nori.
Okay. There you go. Ending Polly's turn brings us to... those that can see an individual dash among the end of the ship and come to it and kind of overlooking, see what's going on. Ending that brings us to Bryn.
Yeah, making our way over to Polly and Amric.
That'd be your movement and dash, and that's at 15 feet.
Cool. Polly is in the way to get down.
I mean, technically, you can slide off to the side a little bit.
All right, we'll try to get down as well. I'm gonna have my sword out, but keep it down, pointed down, just in case. But mostly have the shield ready.
Okay. All right. Ending Bryn's turn. Brings us to... the first taller female individual, looking at all these people who have now just come out of the woodwork.
You're like rats. What are you doing on my island?
Trying to get off, honestly.
Yeah, your first persuasion roll wasn't the best.
Yeah.
Lies. You're here to steal.
What are we here to steal?
Our precious stones.
And with that,
She's not wrong.
Well, Nori never stole any rocks, so at least I can say that.
I wonder who in the group stole some rocks.
you see her kind of extend her arms out in each direction and turns the staff and puts them between both of her hands, her holding both ends of the staff, and she focuses in. And with that, you see her... At first you think that maybe the staff is collapsible, because she all of a sudden claps her hands together and makes the staff disappear. That doesn't seem to be the case, because as she separates her hands again, it just crumples into dust beneath. But now, all of a sudden, clouds start to form, completely darkening the sky and night. Wind starts to pick up, and rain starts to pour heavily.
Is this innate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All of her
Fantastic.
spellcasting is innate when it's done through the staff. So, where's my goddamn rain noise? I want immersion, damn it. It's my immersion. Damn, no immersion. Damn, no immersion. I'm sorry, y'all. Gonna be immersive. Oh, there's rain right there. That was ocean. Rain.
Yeah, I suddenly feel like I'm on a beachside.
To be fair, we are on a beach side.
Can't do beach noise and rain noise. I'm sorry. They're both under the same tab. But the rain picks up precipitously, and it is making it difficult. It makes everyone's view range go, those that have dark vision, down to 30 feet. And those that don't have dark vision, you can only see in a 10-foot radius around you. This is a just shit show of a downpour. But that's going to have to end her turn, as she is going to move back a little bit. That brings us to this one, the one over Kaporin. He's gonna reach down and grab you. And Kaporin, now that you see her, you get to see what she looks like. Standing decently tall, around the 8-foot range as well. She has these extra elongated arms that seem to be too long to be naturally to her body. Again, tattered wardrobe covers her body, but these growths of tree branch extending out from her sides and back seem to have almost like a rat's nest or a bird's nest style of just random artifacts in them. Small shinies and different things like that. Main thing being a few different types of animal and possibly human skulls and bones. Kind of mark the different... Puppy, you're fine. Thank you. Mark the different portions of it that you can see because the majority of it's on her back. But these long arms reach down and pick you up in a giant embrace. And she gives you a crushing hug. It's going to be a 25 to hit.
Yeah.
That is 32 points of bludgeoning damage.
Good night.
How sweet, she lulled you to sleep.
And you are currently grappled as she holds you and walks away with you.
Second time I went down, do I...
What was that?
Is it after the second time you go down, you get a negative, or is it the third time?
Second time. Once you come back up, you start having to make rolls.
Okay.
Alright, ending that turn brings us to Richa. Actually, Richa would have attacked when it reached... Oh, he can't see. Never mind.
Yeah, he can't see anything.
You would have heard it.
Yeah.
So I would say go ahead and make an attack roll with disadvantage. Because he was just sitting there aiming at the creature over Kaporin. So even with the rain coming down, he probably would have let loose. Because you would have heard a Kaporin go.
So 12.
12, unfortunately, no, that does not hit. But it's now your turn. A shriek of a lightning bolt shoots through a few people's vision before disappearing into the sand.
God, what would he do? Never ask me to play Racha again. Holy crap. Chris, you want to tag in?
Right now, it's more decision making than it is battle making.
Yeah, I'm so great at decision making, Val.
You're the only one that he would forgive if something went wrong. By contract. I mean, to be fair, though, Kaporin is a priority. Nori's his higher priority out of everyone else in
Yeah.
the group.
He's gonna make sure he can find Nori. And just get to her at least.
Yep. She's about 10 feet away, so he still sees her.
Okay, so he's gonna stay in view of her. Oh, Jesus. The frog's like staring right at her, huh?
Yeah. Nori knows what it
That's-
ate for lunch.
That's fun. Oh god, I hate this. I can barely do my character. Now I'm just. Jesus. He's. We can't see Kapoor, we can't see the hag. So it'd be stupid to get an arrow to potentially do that. Right.
He also has regular arrows, too.
He does, but he's not gonna be able to shoot at the thing he can't see unless because he might hit Kaporin. That would be bad.
A little bit.
I'm sorry. I honestly have no idea what he would do. I'm sorry.
He would probably keep Nori in sight, but move up a little bit. Roll stealth. So he'd probably want to try and still be stealth. As he tries to.
So pass without a trace is still up, right?
Yeah. She hasn't dropped
That'd be a
concentration.
32 then for him.
My goodness, he does not want. Let's go on the edge. It's in the trees. 32. Okay. So he's stealthed and in a perch. And probably holding his action to attack something if either something attacks Nori or
Or if the
Or
thing
you-
with
yeah.
Kaporin comes back in view.
he can get view of something else, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Any which other turn brings us to Amric.
So I don't have dark vision, so I can see what, nothing, or 5 feet,
10 feet.
10 feet.
See-
Would I have?
You can see about Nori distance.
And I probably know because I probably would have heard the same thing when Shaw did about like Kaporin's bone snapping.
Yeah.
I can't get down past Bryn or Polly though, can I?
Yeah, you could slide this way.
Or you
I'll
can lean
slide.
over.
Oop. I'll slide there. Then I'll kind of get to where Nori's at, jump down, and I'll take 2 swings at the frog.
Okay, go ahead.
$12 to hit, I'm sure does not hit.
Does not hit.
24 to hit,
That'll hit.
or 15 damage.
15 damage. Okay.
That'll be it for this turn.
Alright, ending Emmeric's turn brings us to Kaporin. Another death save. There's another fail. But that's your first fail for this sludge, so only 1 death save so far. Caporn's turn brings us to this one over here. No one can see what's going on over here, so she does her turn, and then it goes to Nori. Oh wait, actually, it goes to Big Frog.
Big Frog was just attacked by Amric.
Yep. Amric, you take 2 swipes at this thing, cutting it decently on the second go around, and it looks at you and gets down into your face, becoming inches from yours before it just and jumps away.
Do I get an opportunity attack for that?
If you want to, yeah.
Do I want to hurt the frog? Nori, do I want to hurt the frog?
That is entirely up to you, my guy.
No, I'm gonna hold my reaction in case something attacks me.
Okay. So the frog jumps away, and there's a long pause before you hear it impact somewhere decently far off, though you can still feel and hear it. Okay, then it brings us to Nori.
Nori looks up to the sky. Is this control weather?
Weather all of a sudden changed dramatically, so
Can I try to cast Dispel Magic?
where would you like to center it onto?
I guess the origin point of the spell?
Okay, can you see that?
No. So I would know something about this, because Control Weather is a druid spell as well, so I have some knowledge of it.
Mm-hmm. Do you know that usually to dispel this, you need to dispel it on the caster?
Alright, so I cannot do that. So Nori's going to tell the rest of the group, they have Koparin. He is our ride home, and is gonna go walk out into the rain.
Okay, where do you want to go?
Straight forward to where they were going before. Not doing a dash, just walking and then waiting.
Okay. 30 feet off into the rain. The majority of your friends now cannot see you. That end your turn?
Yeah. I'll hold my turn with my claws if they get close.
Okay. Ending Nori's turn brings us to Polly.
I will double dash into the rain. As soon as I'm running, I'm mumbling to myself, this isn't worth it, this isn't worth it, this isn't worth it.
And you
Nori, hearing this, goes, I know.
get right next to Nori.
That's all I can do.
Alright, ending Polly's turn. Brings us to everyone on the boat. It does something. And Bryn, you're up.
Going towards that way. Best we
Dashing?
can. Yeah. Can I go up closer to the water? I don't want to be... yeah. Just so we're not all in a little clumpy area right there. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Probably still so you can see Bryn. Obviously, Nori. You have about 5 more feet of movement there, but then you would lose sight of Nori if you...
Now we're good there. Thank you.
Okay. Ending Bryn's turn brings us back to the top of the round. Through the rain, Nori, you can hear in common.
Quickly, take them out. Take them out.
And then you hear a of something heavy hitting the floor. And then... I want a trophy.
Leave it.
then Rachaw's turn.
Well, he's gonna skedaddle to see his buddy Nori.
Make an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. Okay.
Yeah, he's pirouetting out
Oh,
of
he
the
was
trees.
up in the floor, or he was up in the tree. That's right.
Yep, it's fine.
All right.
So 30 feet gets in between you and Nori. I mean, yeah, you and Nori.
Mm-hmm.
Or you and you.
Oh goodness. Yeah. All right. He'll pull another coastal arrow out. All
Okay.
right. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've only used your regular movement so far.
Great.
So, lightning arrow knocked as your bonus action.
Mm-hmm. He can't see these guys, so
Nope. I'm just leaving everything where you last saw them.
yeah. If he sees something coming close to them that's not Kaporn, he'll do it, so he'll hold the arrow, I guess.
Okay. Sounds good. Anyway, Chow, we got Amric.
All right, I'll go ahead and run in the direction I saw the frog jump into.
Okay. Dashing.
Don't want to, but sure.
So right about here, you get and you see Kaporn's lifeless body on the floor. It's about 20 in.
He's dead.
No, he's unconscious. But I mean, you don't know that.
I will take my next 10 feet to him. I will, and then I'll shout to the group. Kaporin's on me.
Okay. Ending your turn.
Yeah.
Kaporin, just save. It's a success.
Yay.
Ending Kaporin's turn. And now that you're here, Amric, you don't see any of these people. Oops. Okay, so Nori, you're up.
Right, we're going over to where Amric was yelling so I can make sure Kaparin isn't dead.
Okay. You get up to them with your 30 feet.
Alright, we're gonna do a Cure Wounds.
Alright. Kaporin, out of your inventory, you can take out all those stones.
Okay. I think I never actually put it in my inventory.
9 HP.
Kaporin, go ahead and roll a d6 for me. And Nori, the rest of your turn.
Can I peek my head up? Can I see anything? Or is it just there's nothing there?
There's nothing there.
Is the storm getting worse?
No, it's staying consistent.
Okay. I don't super have a quarrel with these people. Kaparin fucked with their stuff. He got what came to him. If they're not bothering us, she's just gonna focus on keeping her friends safe. We are on their island. We are intruding.
Okay. Kaporn, did you roll that
Tell
d6?
me. I was just confirming that you were talking to me. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so Nora, you end your turn there. Polly, you're up.
Is Kaparin 25 feet away from me?
You can't see him right now. Actually, you have dark vision?
I do.
Okay, so you can see 30 feet. Check.
I also saw which way they went.
He is 35 feet from you right now.
I will move over to him, and I will bull rush him. As soon as I dig my way out from underneath
Yeah.
the thing.
I don't know how that happened.
You can clone me if you want, if it's easier.
Ollie gained a burrow speed.
Hey,
Oh,
I'm a
it's
dwarf.
big.
It could happen.
Yes, yes, it can.
Would probably like to learn the move dig.
Alrighty then.
How long has my camera been dead? I just looked at Zoom again.
I
Like
don't think long.
like 3 minutes.
Oh my god, Polly.
I
Get out of the
wasn't
ground.
looking at Zoom.
Damn it, Polly.
I got distracted by the burrowing dwarf.
Once more, into the fray.
Just throw me on top of Kaporn.
There you
Literally, I want to bull rush him.
Alright, you're on Kaporin.
And do as much damage as I can to him.
Go for it.
What would I roll for that?
You're just trying to, like, tackle him?
More like a wrestling move where I'm like running, jumping, and then slamming my elbow into his stomach.
Okay, people's level.
All accidental, of course.
Accidentally on purpose. What am I rolling? I'm sorry.
With advantage on arm strike.
Just a heads up, I rolled a 3, but I don't know. how
Roll a
you-
10 after that.
because
A d10.
— 20 to hit.
That hits, and go ahead and double your unarmed strike damage.
So 10 damage, and then bonus action healing word.
So you knock him out, I think?
Yeah, you knock me out and you bring me back.
I won't make you roll for that one.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
I do have a question. Because 3 is con, correct? He has that little amulet. Can that be lower? Or is it just like his con, person con?
Person.
So if you remove the amulet, so his amulet is fine. But
Yeah.
if you were to take it off, he'd be very hurt.
Yeah.
For 6 points. And I'll whisper
So
into his ear, "That's for not listening."
I just told to go try to talk to the person. It didn't go well. Thank you? Question mark. As he's kind of writhing there in stomach pain. Does it stop raining?
No, I just lowered it so you guys can talk easier.
Thank you.
Are we out of
So like,
combat?
how annoying.
If no one's pursuing, then yeah. Eventually, you guys hear what sounds to be a lot of rocks collapsing in on each other. And about a minute later, the rain stops altogether.
Getting up and looking over at what I can only assume is a cave-in.
Yep.
Is that what I find?
The entire area here down to the depths has been sealed up. And though I'm not going to do it, the ship is gone. And the large frogs are gone as well.
Well, if the frogs are gone, the other pond might be free to explore.
Yeah, you said you found something there, Nori?
Yeah, a strange obelisk. My headphones died for a second, so what did I miss?
They caved in the mine.
But before that.
I bull rushed Kaparin, took him out, brought him back.
Is it still raining?
No, the rain is gone.
No.
After about a minute, it dissipates.
Yeah, Nori's gonna walk over to where the frog pond is / was. Are there little frogs everywhere?
Yes, the little frogs are still everywhere, though a lot less of them. And the frog pond is also closed off and caved in.
So, like, completely caved in. Like, we couldn't get in there if we tried.
I mean, you could try. It might take some work to do it. And obviously the cave-in's only going to be directly where the circular chamber to go down into it was. Obviously, probably if the whole cavern underneath was caved in, this island would probably sink, so.
Okay, I can work with that.
Sorry, but how do you want to... So because of the amulet ability, do I still remove it?
No, you technically remove it, but since it's on, your con doesn't go any lower. But if for some reason it comes off or gets dispelled or something, then you would be down by 8 or whatever.
Yeah, and if it went down all the way to 0, you die even with the amulet.
Okay, I'll just make note that it's under effect right now.
Yep.
I will lean in with my dwarven ingenuity and help Nori start digging.
I was made for this. Okay, so you guys digging into the pond?
I guess we don't really have a lot of options. Otherwise, we're really damn stranded here.
Yeah, I'll help out with that.
Yep.
No, wait. Because of the way the island... Oh, wait. No, never mind. It's a freshwater pond. There's no seawater, so there wouldn't be an outlet.
Nope.
Nope.
So, as the crew... Let's get you standing back up. Starts to dig. It's much less digging than kind of just relocating rocks. But it's not going to be an easy feat. Kaporin, by the way, you have first level of exhaustion. It's probably going to take hours to do this without any sort of magical assistance.
What if I summoned animals to help us? Would that do anything?
Depends on the animals, and even then, not many water-dwelling animals are adept at moving rocks.
Well, it wouldn't be a water-dwelling one. It'd be one to help move rocks out of the way.
Yeah, but eventually, after the first couple feet, you guys are going to be submerging yourselves every time you go in.
Yeah, we're going to need water breathing for that one. If we're going to, actually do this well.
Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, in a bit, but as much as we can do now.
Yeah, you can probably get about 2 hours worth of work before the point where you guys are trying to like hold your head up and like reach down and move rocks around. Probably like another good 6 hours worth of work.
Just to check, Val, if these rocks are non-magical technically, would shatter shrink them?
I'm not gonna shrink them. I'm just gonna break them apart, but then it just becomes smaller rocks blocking the opening. So, in the case of the heavier stuff, it might help, but in the case of the smaller stuff, now you just made picking up one rock, picking up 20 rocks.
Yeah.
And we don't have shovels, so please don't. For now.
So do as much as we can, and then sleep so I can get water breathing, and then work as much as we can tomorrow.
So how far off were we doing a regular long rest anyway? Before everything happened?
In a few hours before everything started to go down.
Yeah, it was like 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah. You guys literally just had a conversation with Kaporan of not doing stupid shit. And then, to be fair, he was just following Nori's instructions. Go talk to that person, but he took it to the level of, no matter what, go talk to that person.
I said go listen, not talk. Listen. Hey, we don't know what they're saying. Can you listen? Because you can understand this language?
Gotta
And
get
then-
close to listen still.
Pacha tried to get him back into the tree line.
He did turn around. It's just he wasn't expecting to run into a giant frog right there.
It's true. He was listening.
And then you fed
He also
yourself to
thought
the
that-
frog.
It was a really bad handling.
Yeah. So, working for a couple hours, getting the top layer of the rocks done, and then guys are going back up to the little campsite you had made and camping out, setting up watches and getting some sleep in.
What else can we do?
Okay, just confirming is all.
I'll take first watch.
So, by the time everything, you guys do all that, and you guys get through the night of sleep, by the time you guys get back, day has broken. And you guys go down to the pond to check it out. Completely packed full of frogs on the top, overflowing into different areas and them trying to squeeze their way past the rocks back into their water. You see a whole host of frogs that couldn't get into any of this fresh water, currently dead, and around the outside of the pond dried out. It is like a frog massacre around a large majority of this pond. Seems that they cannot handle the intensity of the sunlight here. And even the first few hours of morning are enough to kill them. Though the ones in the pond are still alive. So you guys go down to work on the rocks and then see this situation.
I mean, unless the hags were the ones blocking the magic, I don't know how else we're gonna get out of here.
You want me to just? I don't.
Could we make something for a bunch of these frogs to go into and then fill it with water?
I
Can we
mean,
take that chest?
you got chest isn't gonna hold water. You guys had taken the majority of barrels that were still viable and put them on the ship the day before.
We did. Sorry
Three,
about that.
three of them were by the mine because I filled them with rocks.
And they're not there anymore because they were filled with rocks and these people left with their rocks.
going to be a lot of frog death if we want to get out of here.
And I'm all for it.
It's us or the frogs.
Would you like me to scorch them?
Yeah, Kaporin, that's going to be your job today, is to keep the frogs out of the pond. While Nori casts water breathing, and I'm going to cast enhance ability so I can double my lifting capacity so we can get these fucking rocks out of the way.
Nori's gonna sit down on the ground, just looking sad, away from the frog corpses. I don't want to be around those, thank you very much. And cast water breathing as a ritual, so I don't have to use the spell slot.
Okay.
So can Kaporin clear them out and then just put a bar?
What are you clearing them out with?
They don't just die instantly when they hit the sunlight, do they?
It's pretty quick, not instant. There's enough time for them to squeal in pain.
Kaporin is looking at everyone and like, how do you want me to get rid of them?
No one's responding.
Yeah, Nori's focusing on the spell, so she doesn't have to focus on the frogs.
Wisdom save for Richa. Okay. Richa's not having a good time. He's off in the distance, but he's not breaking down.
Ooh, the smell.
Nope.
Because there's a bunch of dead frogs.
Because
He likes the frogs.
no, it's because basically this almost happened to his race of people, and you guys are about to do it to another race of creatures.
That's why I was like, can we find anything and fill it with water?
Kaporin's like waiting to. Well, Kaporin's waiting to hear what they want them to do with it.
How far?
We could do something, but it's a really stupid idea.
I mean, if it's
I'm,
Well,
right,
it's
I'm
Kaporin, so
looking for
go
any
for it.
ideas.
So you could fill the bag of holding with water. And at least for a
Frogs
few
can't
minutes.
breathe?
Well, water has oxygen in it.
Yeah, but frogs don't breathe the oxygen through the water.
But
They
it
hold
would
their
keep them
breath.
alive long enough for them not to die from the sunlight.
No, frog. Oh yeah, frogs do have lungs. Never mind.
Yeah, they have lungs. That's why they usually live on the surface.
How far down did we get in the one little section that we created?
And right about Polly, how tall are you? You 4 foot?
Four foot two.
So about 4 feet down.
And it still looks like it's far. But is
Yeah.
there like more crevices then? What, since we're down farther that they could get through?
No.
No. Okay. So making another little section.
You're
for
only
them would
about a
not
third
work.
of the way down.
Yeah.
From my
Okay.
swimming through, how far was the essentially hole to get down to the cavern?
The hole down was about 100 feet.
And we've only gotten 4.
Yeah.
Right, but that might just be where it's caved in, not the whole thing. I'm just saying, like, if you can make some room and I can get in there, I can start clearing shit out, and then there will be more room in here. I'm not saying kill all the frogs. I'm saying just move them out for a second. Or at least out of the way. Herd them.
Well, we could also try and set up some shade if it's just sunlight.
Kaporin will just set up a dome right next to the pond. If that's the case, and the frogs can safely stay in the dome.
Nori's gonna cast Speak with Animals. I'm gonna regret this.
Have you finished your ritual so we can breathe underwater?
It's 10 minutes, so Val, would I have finished?
Yeah.
Yeah, so all of you can now breathe underwater for the next 24 hours.
All right, I'm going to cast Enhance Ability, Bull Strength, and just get in there and start tossing rocks.
Polly jumps in into the frogs and the weirdest
Wait.
jumping into a pool full of Orbeez as he doesn't really sink in, but he kind of like
I'm gonna assist him however I can.
you
But
just
I can
push.
lift over 1,000 pounds, so
She just reaches out with a hilt of her long sword and pushes him down.
I've got 600 pounds of lifting capacity, so I'll help out Polly.
You're jumping into?
I'll give Kapoor a minute or two to get the frogs out. But if he doesn't, then yeah, I'll jump in.
Well, as Polly's
Or I
like
can do-
sinking in, some of the frogs are getting pushed out of the edges. So it's like a
They die that fast?
it's not instant, it's enough for them to feel it, scream, and die.
What kind of frogs are these?
Can I set my dome like halfway, like on the edge of the water, so
Sure.
that like the shade, like it's halfway over the pond, halfway outside of the pond,
Mm-hmm.
so
Frogs.
the frogs at least have some.
They still die.
Huh?
Takes them longer, but they still die.
Wow.
It's
We're not going to be able to do this during the day.
It's
if-
the sun and the heat together that kill them. Quicker when they're
Try
shaped.
able to make some type of little pool out of the wood and leaves.
I
Make
mean, the
it.
faster I get these rocks out, the more room they're gonna have.
So, Polly's already down there, kind of just a bunch of frog ass in his face as he's trying to grab rocks without being able to see anything, and just kind of like lifts it up and puts it above his head for Amric to take.
I'll cast Enhance Ability on Amric too to give him bull strength as well. So your carrying
is-
capacity doubles.
Ooh, 1,200 pounds. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it. Because I can lift 1080.
With the death of about maybe another 40 to 50 frogs during this whole movement process, eventually
Nori, it's causing Nori pain as this is happening.
yeah, all the screaming. Eventually, as more room is created, the lower they can get, and though it makes the whole process take a little bit longer because you can't see. After the initial frog deaths, there are no more screaming frogs. And eventually, you guys working. You're now getting to the point where swimming is needed and involved, with Daisy chaining the rocks out of the hole. So you guys kind of like go down and situate yourselves to, bucket line the rocks out of the hole, with the heavier ones strictly between Polly and Amric having to deal with. Eventually,
About how long would this have taken?
until you get completely done.
Yeah, because enhance ability only lasts for an hour.
Okay. Using the hour that you have, knowing that, you focus on the heavier stuff first.
And I can keep casting that spell. I'll
So
do
can
it at I can do it at a third level and hit I can do it at a third level and hit both of you. I'll keep concentrating since I have noodle arms.
Okay, so with another single cast of it, you can get all the majority of the heavy stuff out of the way. And then after that, working as a team, which is a concept for you guys, but working as a team, you guys can eventually, over the course of 6 hours, crack your way down and into the large chamber. And as soon as you do, Polly, you witness all the frogs stream into the chamber themselves and immediately go towards the obelisk. And seeing them go there, they go on the inside ring of the fish that are circling around it. But you make a decent enough hole for everyone to fit through without it being a problem. And you guys have access to the further below chamber.
Are they just swimming in the circle and they never peel off, or?
Mm-hmm. The frogs just kind of stay at the base of the obelisk.
Well?
And they don't go back up for air?
Well, now that you're noticing it, the obelisk, it's shooting electricity is creating a vast amount of air bubbles down here. And getting directly next to the obelisk itself, it looks to be constantly surrounded by a small veil of air. So there's a small air pocket around the obelisk.
And is there any writing on this obelisk?
You can't get that close.
What if I try to get that close?
You start to get electrocuted.
Does it continually
Electrocuted,
or just,
some
like,
electrocuted.
little bolts?
Every turn, you would start to take more and more damage as you got closer. So the first time you interact with it,
I'm reading the rules of something. Keep going.
The first time you interact with a bolt, it shoots out and hits you for 6 lightning damage.
By the way, Nora, you owe us temporary hit points.
With Bull's strength, you don't get the temp HP. You get
Your exhaustion's gone, by the way, Corn.
You just get the strength.
Sorry, I was thinking about the bear's endurance.
If I swim around the edges of this cavern, are there anything in here other than the obelisk?
That and stones.
Okay, Koparan, you're going to need to identify this. I'm going to...
He needs to touch it to identify it.
Yep. I'm going to cast... Protection from energy on him, which will give him resistance to lightning damage. Do I think that would help at all?
Kaporin's the smartest one in the group. No, Rachaw's the smartest one in the group, right? Rachaw, make an intelligence check.
He's a +2 everything.
Protection of energy, is that all different types of damage, or just you have to choose one?
I have to choose one.
Okay. Rachaw would point at the obelisk as you guys are down there, as you're thinking about this, and probably workshopping it with everyone, telling him what he can do. He points at the obelisk and goes, I think he's got this. And if he doesn't, you can go ahead and put it in his book. That's a hot mamma jamma.
So, 2 strong?
Inside check.
Go for it.
With advantage, because... Oh, you can't. Shit, you haven't attuned to the ring yet.
You think he's talking
Nope.
about mamas? Or jam. Now you're hungry. Well, there's plenty of crispy frog legs upstairs. He's making it known that for it to become air, which means it's probably very fucking hot around the obelisk, which would be even fire damage.
So it'd be smarter to give him resistance to fire.
He's gonna have to be dealing with both, so your decision on which one's the more prevalent situation.
Polly, do you think... So if it's the hottest part and he needs to be touching it, resistance from fire would be helpful. And then we could just try to heal him from a distance while he tries to identify this.
Are we
Do you think he
spam
even
healing
could?
him seriously?
I don't know what else to do.
I don't
I don't know what this thing is.
Did you dispel it?
I don't want to dispel it because what if it removes the magic?
What if it's the magic that gets us home?
Okay. I guess it's
Otherwise-
what I get.
We're literally stranded here. Unless we can figure out a way off.
Sure. I'm ready when you are.
Baron, do you think you could identify it with all that going on?
It'll be a hot minute, but I should be able to get it done.
Does it take a minute to identify something?
It does, that's why I'm worried.
Even using a spell slot, it takes a minute?
Yes.
Shit. That's
That's a lot of damage. Bringing in the flex tape commercial right there.
That's 10 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And round of electricity and fire damage.
Not even thinking that if he could cast it.
This is like Kaporn with electrotherapy.
While sitting on
Kaporn did
an iron.
He's gonna come out of this with a fucking massive like,
Car
Like,
battery
he-
attached to the nipples sitting on
I mean,
an
I
iron.
have 14 spell slots. I could do it with. I could do it. It's just going to be a lot for him.
I have another stupid idea.
Please, anything
If-
else?
This wouldn't work for the whole time, but at least on the swim over, if Kaporin swims like directly behind Amric, it might shield him from some lightning.
And don't act-
That would just make
like a
possibly
nut.
2 people for them to heal.
Well,
Can-
after he reaches the obelisk, I would swim back because I'm not useful at that point. But just for the swim over, might save him like 12 hit points.
Oh no, it's not just 1d6. The entire time, the closer you get, the d6s increase. For the lightning damage.
I'm aware, but at least saving him 15
Okay.
HP would still make it easier
Sure.
if that's ever.
I mean, if I have to, I'm gonna be healing myself as I'm also getting closer to this thing.
Should
so-
we tie ropes to them just in case they start to die? And we can pull them back.
I mean,
You better
after they're
tie a rope to
fried
me,
by
'cause
the
if I-
lightning?
You're gonna have to drag my dead body back.
I'm just wondering why the fish and the frogs aren't dying.
I think it might be something to do with them being beasts.
Or do you think you can turn into a...
I mean, did you get hit when you were a frog when you were down here?
Yes, I did.
And
Oh, you're
weren't you a
also-
beast when you were a frog?
Am I a beast?
Maybe it knows magical frogs versus non-magical frogs.
Yeah. You magically assume the shape of a beast.
Yeah, tiny beast.
That's a really
Yeah.
smart stone.
Can we see anything that it says on it?
Not this far away with all the fish circling around and now the frogs that are basically stuck to it.
So they're just like gluing themselves to it?
It's all air here, so they go out into the water a little bit, but they come back to breathe.
But they're able to touch it without any issue.
Yeah.
But they were dying on the surface.
What are these frogs made out of?
They didn't show up on Detect Magic.
Nope.
Maybe if we strap a whole bunch of dead frogs to compare
Frog
and
armor.
throw them into it.
Sounds like he's willing to try it.
I don't have much of a...
But all the
Wait,
frogs
can I-
are over there right now. They're not like chilling next to you guys. They're all near the
Can I
obelisk.
ask
But all the dead
the
ones
Chris-
are still upstairs.
True.
the crystals that are near the obelisk? Is it interacting with them at all?
I mean, as much as like anything else here, the lightning kind of reaches out to it every now and again and touches them, but not like overly specifically. They're just all everything's getting hit with electricity around here. Kind of think like those Tesla balls.
Nori, how far were you when the lightning hit you yesterday?
About
Or
35
whenever it was?
feet.
35 feet-ish.
Can I pull out one of the blue stone crystals that I have in my bag because they didn't take mine
Mm-hmm.
and kind of tentatively get closer and closer to it to see if it has an effect?
Trow will pop out his mage hand if you want to give it to
Oh,
a
that'd
mage
be even
hand.
better.
Okay, using Mage Hand and putting the rock with the crystal, moving it forward. I mean, one of the tendrils keeps hitting it as it comes out, but nothing seems to be happening to it.
Can I hold the crystal out to it?
Sure.
I take it out of the mage hand and hold it out. Does it just keep hitting the crystal?
At first, but once your hand gets within the distance, it starts to hit you.
Okay.
So that's another 3 points of lightning damage.
I got another dumb idea. I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals, swim closer, and yell out, "Hey, what's this thing's deal?"
All you hear loud, cacophonous, all in multi voices saying, just humming along.
So they're just humming?
Yep.
Keep on swimming, keep on swimming.
Is that what they're humming?
No, they're just humming. It's like 2 to 3 tones just over and over again.
Like a cell tower?
Companion, you found the cult you wanted.
Did they not
Yay.
speak to you, Nori?
No, they're all humming.
Can you replicate the sound for Kaparin to play?
I replicate the sound to the best of my ability.
I'd like to do something stupid.
It's too late. It's already happened.
That's pretty much what everyone's been saying since they've been down here.
Yeah.
I will swim forward, and I want to. Well, I'll propose the idea to the group before I do it. I'd like to swim forward, grab one of the fishes, and bring it back and see if it changes the way it behaves or is acting at all.
I mean,
And
go for it,
hopefully
man.
not get attacked by the fish.
Okay.
I will do so.
So it's about 10 feet from when the lightning first starts to hit you until the actual fish itself. So you take the first d6. That's 3 points of lightning damage. And you freeze. All your muscles. You try to move forward, but it stops you. And then in between the lightning, you can move again another 5 feet to get to the fish. It's 11 points of lightning damage.
Okay, I give up.
The fish is right there.
Wait, how for it's
You got
another
to
5
the
feet?
edge of the, you got to the edge of, now you're 10 feet, so
Oh, okay.
you got to the edge of the fish.
Okay, I'll keep going.
Like a dexterity check. See if you can grab one of these guys.
Well, that's not gonna work. Just straight dex.
Yep, just a straight dex check.
9.
Slips through your hands. That's 8 points of lightning.
Big are these fish?
I'll try one more time.
Okay.
10.
You get a fish. That's
I'll
11 points of lightning.
start swimming back.
Okay. You move, you get 5 feet, and you get hit again. 5 points of lightning. And then you're able to get out of the distance. You're holding a fish. As soon as you get out of the lightning distance, all the fish stop.
Oh. And
They're not
the music
turning, they're
dies.
not anything, but they have all stopped. Except for the fish that's in your hand. It's wiggling like a son of a bitch.
Did you plan the music to stop right then, or is...
Nope, that was just good timing.
I still have Speak with Animals up. What's this? Is this dude saying anything, or is he just humming creepily?
It's just screaming right now.
What are the rest of the fish doing?
Gone quiet.
Are they like trying to look at us, or are they just stopped
Nope,
still?
They just stopped.
What's the
Sorry.
lightning like the same?
Well, with enough time, the lightning starts to get much more ferocious. Now starting to branch out, getting further and further away.
Please put
Give
that
the
fish
fish
back.
back.
I let it go.
Okay, it almost immediately just gets back in. And as soon as it joins back in, the fish starts circling once more, and the lightning calm and condenses.
Wait, are the frogs circling this thing as well?
They're not circling it; they're just residing around it.
That's the theory. If you follow the circle, does it? If you follow, trying to go in a circle with the fish,
Well, if
Getting
that
close.
was... If that was the case, when they all stopped moving, they would have just died.
Can Bryn and Richa, or Bryn or Richa, like investigate around the cavern to see if there's anything? Because I don't think we've looked, kind of,
Yeah.
sort of looked, but
Well, Imric
haven't really-
looked, and everyone's been looking. Besides the crystals, there doesn't seem to be anything in this cavern that's different or apart from anything.
We are missing something, I know it.
I think that the stone was originally getting shocked when Polly went up to it, but as soon as Polly got into it, it started shocking him.
No, it shocked both.
Shocked them both.
Yeah. It's just like
Imric-
like a Tesla ball. As soon as something comes into like in its range of contact, it'll hit it. So it was hitting him and the rock and the crystal, like just because it was in its range.
About how many lightning bolts are going off at the same time? Does it look
At
like?
one time, it's about 6 to 7.
Do you think we'll be able to lightning rod it, maybe?
With what?
Caporn pulled out his sword and it's like, could one of you throw this near it so that it at least catch some of the bolts of lightning?
I mean, to be fair, the bolts of lightning are fast. It's not like when Amric or when Polly went into it, you were seeing 6 of them and then you saw one just keep connecting. It was happening so fast it looked like a new bolt came out.
There was no dex save, so we're screwed.
More like if I'm thinking like metal object lightning, would the lightning just arc automatically to the metal
try.
object?
I mean, did it look like it reacted different to Amric's armor than with it when it did with Paul? Or I guess Polly's wearing stuff
Similar
too.
armor.
Yeah. I mean, it hits armor, it hits skin. Doesn't matter. It doesn't care.
It's painful. That's what it is.
It's shocking.
Well,
It's grease lightning!
Go grease lightning.
boy, if you give me the resistance to the lightning,
It's hydromatic.
I'll
It'll
just
either
have to
be
bear
fire-
what I can.
It'll be fire or lightning, and Polly and I will have to heal from a distance. It's gonna be not fun for you. Well, swim back if you can't do it, or we probably should tie a rope around him. Pull twice if you
Yeah,
can't do it.
I have 50 feet of rope, so I'll tie that around him.
Okay.
Right. Well, I'll do this then. Caporn kind of backs up, gives himself some room.
Nora's gonna cast protection from energy for fire because
Well-
that seems to be.
This is what we're doing. Hold off on your castings because we will get back to this next session. And with that, we'll close down tonight, so don't mark off the spell slots just yet, but we have decided upon this. And we can get back to this at the beginning of next session and have a good old time.
Oh, wonderful.
Alright?
Can't wait.
Alright, so any questions?
Why?
Are we meeting on Monday?
Because. I believe so.
Yes.
I believe so.
A little earlier than normal, but yeah. All right. So with that, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and message me, and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. If I don't talk to you before then, you guys have a good Sunday, and we will be back Monday. All right, y'all. Have a
Yeah.
good
Have a
one.
good night.
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 Thank you all for staying with us. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time.